Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome back to Super Castlevania IV. This is going to be part 3. Last time we actually made sure we were on the doorstep of Castlevania. Looking at the world map, there's only one more stage to do before we officially enter the castle. As you may know from earlier Castlevania games, traditionally the next phase in the adventure of the Belmont clan. Simon is on his way to Dracula once again. His castle is in sight. Let's go. One more forest-like area to go through, which functions as stage 5. Oh, and the grabby things return. I do like how they die, actually. The dying animation is pretty fun. Oh, these things also return. Couldn't have a Castlevania game without these guys, now can't we? Die. Like always, they carry around a couple of enemies. Let's see what's up here. No, more of these things, of course. Hey, don't! Leave me alone. Dead end, so this stuff appears indeed continuation. Look, now we finally approach these guys from the other side, so we need to crouch. Or not really, because he didn't even shoot in the meantime. Apparently also possible. That's a pretty wrong place to spawn. Oh, these guys actually have a better place to spawn. They're on our level now as well. I do like it if you actually kill them before they drop their load. That they actually both die. You wouldn't necessarily expect that, because normally you would say only the creature that you actually hit would die, and the other creature would still be alive if you don't get a direct hit with your whip. Apparently it doesn't work like that. Mr. Gargoyle seems to be missing in action, so in that case let's just continue. Here we have a knife. Oh, be careful, these platforms aren't semi-solid, as you can see. Can't jump through them, even though at first sight it does look like it, in all honesty. Apparently not. Oh, that was a useless green nuke. Not a single enemy in sight. Did not do a single thing. End of screen. Stage 5-2. Moving indoors again. Now the Skelly Man will also carry around whips again. Something we also know from earlier Castlevania games. And of course the traditional sword fighters. In all honesty, I do like those guys a lot more than the normal Skelly Mans that actually throw bones around. Those are a little bit more unpredictable, so I kind of prefer these guys. Oh, great job. I get hit right after picking up a piece of meat. Should have done it the other way around. Oh, time's running out again. I got a 1-up at least, so... And I don't even have to waste it, because looky here. Front door. You know what time it is. Dracula, let's see if you are home. Welcome to stage 6, the first stage in the interior of Castlevania. Welcome to the castle once again. This time around the overworld map won't really show us what kind of terrain we are going to traverse. But traversing we will. Would help if I actually face the right way. That was a dumb move. Be careful, because these things respawn, as you can see. Oh, speaking of spawning, infinitely spawning enemies. These guys are pretty easy, so we don't really have to fear them. One hit and they're down. They do come in large numbers, so perhaps for that reason they are somewhat challenging. Nothing in there. We do get a lot of time for this stage, over 500 seconds. That's in all honesty quite a lot. So it's not really promising this stage to be a short one. Okay, these knights also return with their boomerang axes, which is apparently a normal thing in Castlevania, because we have the cross, of course, which you can also use as boomerangs, so... Still waiting for the day that the Castlevania game releases, that the boomerang item is indeed a boomerang, and not something else. Like it is not supposed to be. Because you can try all you want, but axes, if you start throwing them, they will never come back to you. Unless you start throwing them directly upwards, but that is a different kind of thing. Aha! We have reached the next room, where Konami thought it was a good idea to play around with SNES graphics. This time around, chandeliers that move around. And this time they're actually not backgrounds, because we can interact with it. We need to use them in order to cross this gap. And the red flashing at the background is kind of ominous, but it also suits the atmosphere a little bit. Overall, this is not really that difficult. Should be able to do this first try. There we go. Should be one more. Because I can remember 3 of them being here. Jump. There we go. Oh, there we don't go. Oops. And here was me saying I was going to do it first try. Guess not. Okay, this is where we were. This is the jump I missed. I did almost get it, because it did land on the platform, but a little bit too much to the left, apparently. And I was incorrect. Apparently there's a 4th one. This one being a little bit more difficult, because you need to jump to the first platform from below. Making it quite a tricky jump. But there we go. Second try. Also not too bad, in all honesty. I see you shaking up there, Mr. Chandelier. You're not fooling me. And the thing is a fool itself, because it fell before I actually went under here. How's that supposed to be challenging? Look, it already falls before you're actually under it. How's that supposed to be challenging? This X-Knight is more challenging than all of these chandeliers combined. You can only get hit by it if you actually keep on walking. But nobody's that stupid. Uh-oh. What the hell's this? Go away! I don't want to attack an unarmed lady. Oh, help. Now we're getting attacked by epilepsy. This thing looks really weird. I don't want to put an epilepsy warning at my video, so just close your eyes if you are sensitive to this. Oh, more strange guys. It looks like the castle staff is attacking now. But this seems to be the only guy. Oh, there's something behind that wall. But on the other side, so allow me. Come on, I want to jump here. Ooh, multiplier. Let's see if we can actually use that. Not against you. Oh, more castle staff, help! These things can come out of nowhere, because they are moving quite fast. Definitely be careful for them. If you're walking in one direction and they come from the other one, they could surprise you. Just keep realizing they could appear, and therefore always keep your finger on the whip button, ready to strike. I'm not impressed. Be careful for these platforms, they obviously flip the moment we step on them. And I still screw up. I knew that was going to happen. The platform should be rearranged the moment we return. I'm also not happy about the fact that these enemies respawn. Even this guy. Yeah, even the platform respawns. Thank you. There we go. Still not the end of 6-2. I'm starting to understand why they give 600 seconds for this stage. It's really long. Spike pit. Be careful, one hit kill. You're not allowed to return from there if you fall in it. Might as well would have been an endless pit. Falling in it will do the same. Oh, help! No! Wow. One word. Wow. Okay. Let's not talk about that anymore and let's just continue. Oh, I'm surprised this guy does not follow me. Come on. This thing is broken. It should be following me. Well, I just escaped the spike pit in a weird way, so I'm not going to question the game physics anymore. But trust me, this thing should be following you. Oh, here it comes. Something seems to be wrong with the game, but oh, he still was able to get me after falling into the pit. Let's quickly return for some meat. Weird things happening. Me getting out of the spike pit I'm not supposed to get out of the moment you fall in. A coffin that was staying asleep a little bit longer than it should have. Weird things happening. Oh, finally 6-3, but still not the end of stage 6. But at least we have a checkpoint again. Red Skelly-mans also return. Remember, they are indestructible, they reform after a moment. Easily solved by just keep on moving. Make sure you're out of the screen before they get the chance to reform. And they should not be a problem. Nothing here. Nope. Would have been nice. Looks like a fun little spot to hide a secret. Hey, you. If I'm finally able to get off these stairs, I'm going to get you. Stupid stairs mechanics in this game. In all Castlevania games, of course. This one included. And be careful for the grabby hands here. As you can see, there's a Skelly man in position right over there. And the moment these hands grab you, he will start moving. That's basically how this works, like this, as you can see. But you can still take out the skeleton man and therefore free yourself. Looks intimidating, this enemy, but in all honesty, it's not really that scary. The moment you kill the skeleton that is attached to these hands, the hands will also immediately disappear. So, practically not as scary as it looks. Let's see what we can find up here. This time we do have a secret. A somewhat hidden candle. Even though it's just hearts. Aha, this is what I was looking for. A fun little play around. Because watch this. And this kinda invites to doing a little bit of tickling, now doesn't it? You can actually stun lock these guys and get them all into your whip. And you get this fun little effect. Simon the Tickler strikes again. And now we're going to get to another pretty fun little location. The furniture will start attacking now. That's what you get for attacking the castle staff earlier. Now the castle equipment starts attacking. I see you up there. Hey, go away. This is not a ballroom. Or maybe it is actually, looking at these tables. Okay, screen nuke, but once again useless. There's nothing in screen. Oh. And they'll come back. There they are. Just make sure to take out the table before they actually get the chance to move. Does not really apply to the dancers. But still. That was the ballroom. Oh, and there's more. Ooh, 1-up. Direct 1-up. Rare sight. And apparently that can also appear. First one we've seen in this game, I'm pretty sure. The direct 1-up also exists. But anyway, we are going to enter a pretty clear boss arena. And the boss is going to be the masters of the ballroom. The ultimate dance couple. It's more an avoiding game, as you can see. Oh, and I can use swords. Just quickly take you out. Come on. And once again, I almost get taken out myself. But not quite. Boss defeated. Stage 6 clear. And let's try to withstand the urge to start quoting the sweet ballroom blitz. Couldn't resist. And what I also can't resist is playing another stage. Stage number 7. Taking us even deeper into the interior of the castle. Starting off with the knight. It's not even a threat because he doesn't even use boomerang weapons. This guy does. Just kill you through the wall, because why not? But he walks away, so we'll meet him again later. Oh, we seem to be entering the library now. Which is also haunted, because I see books moving. Of course, this place is haunted. Even though we already knew that. There's an undead vampire count living here, so we already knew this place was haunted. So the reason why we are here, to actually take care of business. These kind of ghosts we also know from earlier Castlevania games. But they are new here, so let's see if we can tickle them. Like anything in this game. Poor guy. Trying to be serious, trying to be monsters. And we end up tickling them to death. One can't help but feel sorry for the monsters of Castlevania IV. Ooh, boomerang. We've been talking about boomerangs quite a bit today. Now we have one ourselves. Which I'm of course not going to use unless I absolutely have to. Not a big fan of using sub-weapons like I've said earlier. In multiple projects, including this one. The whip is more than powerful enough. And the sub-weapons use hearts, so... Much rather have these hearts being used as bonus points, so I can score extra lives. So I don't want to waste them on weapons. If I can also use my whip, which is free to use. That's pretty much my reason why I rarely use sub-weapons. And I'm entitled to do so. It's me playing the game after all, so I decide how I play the game. But anyway, I still use it occasionally, like on a floating book for instance. Then it can be handy. It's interesting how this location is going down actually. You don't see that a whole lot. There were a couple of stages in Castlevania III also making use of it. Besides that, you never really see downward scrolling vertical rooms. Well, at least you don't have to worry about endless pits in rooms like these. Perhaps all the way at the end. But not even there, it looks like. Oh. There's a pretty tricky altitude you're throwing that at. I could not destroy it by crouching. So I actually had to jump over it. Unlike this one. Aha, now the floating books even become platforms. Not just enemies, platforming mechanics too. How traditional. Okay, die please. I know you can't, but still. At least get out of my hair temporarily. These are tricky jumps in all honesty. The enemies running around on these platforms. Especially since they're... Okay, that was stupid. Especially since there are enemies that don't actually stay down. So taking them out beforehand is also not really a solution. Because they will just pick themselves up again. These red skeletons on these platforms, definitely a good idea to make it challenging. Oh, almost made the same mistake again. Give me my level 3 whip. I'm not used to the short range. Always feels really unnatural to me. 7-2. Now where do we end up? Howdy, ma'am. How are you doing today? Who are you anyway? Dracula's grandma, I'm pretty sure. Okay, some meat. Hey, the stupid enemy just kicked down one of the candles. Did not know he could do that, but apparently you're going to want to take care of these guys before they actually get rid of your power-ups. Interesting. Never saw that happen, in all honesty. But apparently that can happen. Oh, floor's moving! And I think I know why. It's actually trying to push you into the spike ceiling over here. Also a pretty traditional mechanic. Oh, that was a screen nuke. Not a bad thing, because unlike the previous two, this time there was something on screen. You apparently not. Wouldn't be surprised if the guy actually respawned now. Yeah, he did. And the bats too. But I don't have to take care of you. You're not in the way. I'm just going to move on. Ow! Rude! Okay, here we have a multiplier again. We still have not seen a tripler yet in this game. I know they do appear. They're in every 2D Castlevania game, so... This one too. They're pretty rare apparently. Okay, now what is that supposed to be? Let's see if we can face it. Let's go down here. Get some meat. Also get hit. See if I can tickle you. That does not look like it. In that case, I don't like you. Go away. Okay, that heart I can't get. Too high up. Nothing in here. Ooh, there's a lot of candles in a row here. Bam! No, just a couple of single hearts. Would have been nice if there were point bags. Don't. It's bad enough that you're hanging around everywhere here, man, but I don't want you to touch me. It's interesting how all of these statues crumble, but just like with the chandeliers in an earlier stage, they actually crumble a little bit too early. Before we actually pass them. Not making them as challenging as they should be. Oh, come on, still not the end. I'd like to close off this episode, because I see I've passed 20 minutes already, so... I'd like to get to the end of a sub-stage at least. Okay, man. You also deserve to be tickled. This should be the boss. Yeah, indeed. So, let's finish this. This large knight is obviously what we need to face. And he can be pretty challenging, so be careful. As you can see, he will actually smash the floor with his axe, creating some fire. And especially if he's standing really close, that is hard to dodge, so I would advise going to the other side of the room if he gets too close. And after a couple of hits, and he will start using his sword, which is easier dodged than the flames, so... Yeah, there we go. That was stage 7. And therefore, also, that was the episode of today. This has been enough. Oh, things fall apart. Help! Yeah, it's not going to be that easy. We're first gonna go down to the cellar. We fell down to the lower areas of the castle. Stage 8 will be taking place in the scariest part of a castle. Its basement. Ooh, help. You immediately get greeted by a spider. But that's going to be for next time, because this is enough for today. Stage 8 up for tomorrow's episode. Thank you all for watching Super Castlevania IV. We have entered Dracula's castle, but it looks like it's a long route before we actually get to the end. Even in the castle, there are still plenty of stages to do. See you folks next time, and Treecks out!